Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bakertron, and I'm here to bring you a cool 2v2 game of Homeworld on the map. Oh, I just looked it up as well. Subjugate your friends? I believe it is Subjugate your friends. Yes. Anyway, today our two players as the sort of green and yellow alliance. We have down here the sort of teal Kushan. This is Ultra of clan SLS. That is the System Lord Syndicate, and his ally is Rendar of the clan CO or Co, or I have no idea who they are. So yes, and their opponents today, over here we have Steel of clan CIG, and his ally will be Manu of AE clan, or AE of Manu clan. It's AE-Manu. Okay, so it might be just a... I'm going to call him Manu, because that's what I've called him. The other three attempts I've attempted, or the other three tries when I've attempted to cast this game, and it's always messed up for one reason or another. So yeah, I'm going to stick with that. So today, hopefully we should get a pretty decent game. Or at least, well, I'll give it away slightly. We will get a decent game, and hopefully we won't have to wait too long for it all to kick off. We can see already that Rendar and Ultra, in the form of his research ships, have sort of staked a claim to this centre resource patch. Of course, there are several others scattered around the map, but it's this patch here in the middle that is the main one that everybody attempts to get. And Rendar is sweeping in with lots and lots of ships, ready to make sure that he's the one who gets it. Ultra also building scouts, defenders, light corvettes. Over here we're going to get the same scouts, light corvettes, and over here scouts, light corvettes and support frigates. So not a huge amount of difference between the two players. And if we can look here, it's just a probe. However, oh, I think that so that was actually quite cool. That was from Manu, or AE, whatever his name is. That killed at least 2 scouts, and as we can clearly see, damaged a lot of others. So there's at least 3, 6, maybe 7 damaged, 8, 9 even damaged. I think only these here are the only ones undamaged. And now Manu is sort of noticing this and is sweeping in. There's 1 scout down, 2, 3 scouts already in just that initial volley. So that is fantastic first couple of moves from the Manu and Steel alliance, as it were. And he's just completely cleared that up. Rendar, it is Rendar, not Rendar, isn't it? Yeah, Rendar has lost a fair bit already, but is still producing lots of craft. It's only early days yet, but the red team has sort of secured this centre area. It's going to be down to Ultra to just come in and win it. Fortunately for him, these scouts are kind of distracted shooting at this harvester, so he can get a few more shots off. That's 1 scout down, and so that might help him a bit. But he's definitely got a lot of craft here. It should be noted that SteelCIG hasn't sent any craft into the battle yet, so it kind of looks like that Ultra may win this here and then have to deal with CIG, Steel. But if Manu can hold on, with these craft, then maybe they can both kill Ultra. But here comes Rendar with some reinforcements, a nice corvette war with support frigates in the back. There's 2 support frigates keeping up Manu's corvette war, and here are the scouts of SteelCIG. Kamikazing going on from Ultra just to try to clear up the rest of Manu's scouts, but there's still a handful of them left. Defenders sitting in the back of Ultra's lines, just picking off ships here and there. As long as they don't get any return fire, they will survive and do a fair bit of damage. But at the moment it looks like these scouts of, I believe they're CIG, does have superiority, at least until reinforcements arrive. Now these reinforcements are here, it's swinging back into Ultra's favour. There's still this corvette force here of Rendar. More kamikazing going on in the centre as Ultra just clears everything up quickly. Now this red team are down to these scouts here, which are dying these scouts here, and this nice corvette wall. Unfortunately for at Ultra and Manu, this corvette wall has 2 support frigates. That's going to help keep it alive immensely, but apart from that, they have secured the centre. There's still more and more problems coming in for them. More kamikazing going on against these corvettes. They manage to by sacrificing a lot of corvettes, not corvette scouts, they do manage to take out all the corvettes before the support frigates can heal them, and now these support frigates are sort of finding themselves without anything to heal. But down here, SteelCIG turns around and goes, sod it, I'm going to go straight for the harvesters, and all these harvesters are pretty vulnerable, but Ultra comes in from behind and starts taking out with more kamikazing. The problem, or the difference this time, is that these corvettes have 3 support frigates healing them up, and we can see their beams flickering right there. So some of these corvettes are going to manage to survive. There's 5 surviving, a 6th here, a 7th coming in as reinforcements. A couple more corvettes go down here, but I believe Ultra and Manu are rapidly, or have run out of scouts to kamikaze with. Let's see what these are. They're only defenders, and you can't really kamikaze with defenders because they're just too slow. So there's very few scouts left for any players. There's this huge figure force here for Manu. Rendar is attempting to deal with it with corvettes, and Ultra's coming in with light and heavy corvettes with support frigates. Back up. Still a couple of corvettes here for Steel, and they did have 3 support frigates with them, but I think those support frigates have decided to do something else now. Sword frigate and Iron Cannon frigate coming up for Manu. That's going to dramatically increase the sort of fear that this frigate force puts into their enemies. I don't know if this corvette force can destroy the frigate force. Yes, corvettes are good, but assault frigates are good against corvettes, and there's not that many corvettes. So I've got a feeling that they're going to soon start to struggle. Unless Rendar can come in. He's got a lot of ships here, including, let's see if we can just zoom in on it as much as we can. Right there is a defence field fighter, and hopefully we will see that in action pretty soon. It's the first time so far I've seen a defence field fighter, and yeah, we never see them, which is strange because I think they're pretty cool. I'm sure that, you know, there's a proper reason why they're terrible. Maybe some of our more veteran players and experienced players watchers even can tell us, but I think they're cool, and that's enough reason for me to build them, and that's why I'm never going to win any games. So yes, we can see, you know, Manu's frigates did have a good attempt at taking out some of these harvesters. They damaged this resource controller of Rendar, but now Rendar's come in with this huge force. They need to sort of get moving a bit more. There's attack bombers and all that, and that's just going to start wearing down everything. They're going straight for these harvesters at the moment, though there's still these defenders of Ultra actually. So it's going to be a bit difficult to tell who wins over there against Manu's frigates, but over here against these harvesters, these attack bombers are just tearing into anything, and we've seen a few flashes. There's a few more. That's the defence field fighters shooting down enemy munitions, which is pretty damn cool, I think. There we go. Oh, that is so cool. That is so cool. And yes, but here comes a fairly scary frigate force. It's scary because it has these support frigates. That's literally 1 frigate each for these 3. And the defence field frigate, that is going to block out everything. I don't think it blocks out plasma bomb launchers, but everything else, which is everything else, there's no iron cannon frigates for the green and yellow team out yet, is nullified. So all the defence, you know, they really don't. Ultra and his ally Rendar don't really have an answer to defence field frigates at the moment. We can see Ultra does have assault frigates out, so iron cannon frigates can't be too far behind. Well, it's just going to be, can he get them out in time? Rendar still producing lots of ships, harvesting still going on, but as we can see, players are starting to have to chase down the last few remaining resources and whatnot. bizarrely enough, no one's sort of detached just a few attack bombers or something to go after the harvesters. It's all been focused on this huge battle in the middle. Manu's frigates still surviving against the enemy corvettes. Steel has come in now with his own frigate force. The problem for Manu is his own support frigates are sort of stuck down here and they're not healing up these craft, and they're not close enough to the defence field frigates of Steel down here to sort of survive from that. So a bit more coordination there. Getting Manu's frigates to link up with Steel's frigates would turn the entire force very, very invincible. Not completely. Oh no, some of those we can see clearly there the plasma bombs being deflected. Okay, so in which case, yes, as long as these support frigates stay near the defence field frigates, there's the only thing that Ultra and Rendar can do is kamikaze. But Manu's frigates are, pulling up here, going after this lone assault frigate, and that's because they're not with the defence field frigate, they are vulnerable to all the corvettes and whatnot. And in fact, up here we can see some corvettes going after the harvesters. I believe they're going after the harvesters, or else they're just running away rather rapidly. So it's still pretty even, I think, even though Ultra and Rendar have this huge strike craft force. It's very, very much unable to do a huge amount. It's starting to work on Manu's unprotected frigates, and it will, slowly take them down. But even then, it's not a huge amount of firepower. Or it's a medium amount of firepower, but there's 10 or so frigates here of Manu, including a support frigate. It's just going to take a while to wear them down. What Manu has to do is try to make something happen with his frigates, try to get down these strike craft as much as possible, especially when they're in that sort of vulnerable sphere formation. But at the moment, I think the fighters are just dodging most things, and the defence field fighters are shooting down some of the munitions from the assault frigates. Not all. They have I think they have quite a small sort of sphere, but they're doing a few, which is good. And so the iron cannon frigates, they're going after these harvesters again. This is going to be tough. This is their chance to hit these corvettes, and I think they've thrown it away. Meanwhile, Steel has decided to go after the mothership. He knows he's invulnerable pretty much, as long as he keeps all his defence field fighters together and defence field frigates together with the support frigates and whatnot. He can pretty much choose what to kill. The problem is the mothership has so much health, it's going to take him so long to do it, and I think he's realised that and decided it looks like he's going after this resource harvester here. So we can see slowly this frigate force getting smaller and smaller. I think that was another frigate going down, and they're just going after this support frigate now, which is probably the best thing to go for at the start. Just stop any healing. And now this huge corvette war, 7 light corvettes, 8 heavy corvettes, that's really going to chew through the frigate's armour here. These frigates sort of really don't know what they want to do. I mean, they're kind of going after the mothership, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't think they can kill the mothership in time to be of that much use. And especially as Manu down here is just losing frigate after frigate to this huge strike craft force. Frigate from Ultra now moving in as well. And there's this corvette war from Manu starting to pick off at this. Corvette war from Rendar started to pick off at Manu's mothership, as well as these frigates chasing down one of Ultra's harvesters. He still has others on the map. Everybody's still chasing down the last few resources, but we're getting to that stage where players are only going to have what they've built and they will have no chance to get anything else out. I don't think bounties are turned on this game, and I don't think resource injections are turned on either. There's a dinky little defense fighter just flying around there. Okay, so that's one harvester down for Ultra, but at the cost of almost all of Manu's frigate force. He still has a harvester himself, he still has a support frigate here, But these iron cannon frigates are going to explode very soon. SteelCIG is coming in with his own frigate force, but I don't think he can save them in time. He might be able to save this mothership, but if Manu doesn't have any money left, it's not going to be that worthwhile. You see the defense field fighters just shooting down even more incoming fire. This mothership usually would be shooting back, or he's shooting. Okay. And in one move, Manu has completely changed the face of the game. That was every strike craft that Ultra and Rendar had. They still have harvesters out. He wasn't able to kill these harvesters. He almost killed them, but not quite. And so Ultra is down to 1 assault frigate and 1 destroyer. Rendar is down to 1 support frigate and a handful, 2 more support frigates. So he's got 3 light corvettes, and each light corvette has its own support frigate. You can't repair your allies' ships with your own support frigate though. So this destroyer has a lot of work to do. So do these 2 support frigates. These 2 support frigates really should start healing this group up here. He's got 3 assault frigates, but this destroyer can really do a lot of damage. At the moment, these 2 support frigates are going after this assault frigate. That's not okay. Yes, it is a tiny bit more firepower, but I really don't think it's worth it. I really think they should be, if not healing each other, then healing this force here. So that's 1 support frigate down for both players. And as the assault frigate of Ultra. Ultra is down to just 1 destroyer, but he has 3 harvesters out and the controller. So it's going to be difficult. But especially if you can just kill off this last support frigate, it's got a decent chance. This destroyer though is starting to take shots from the 3 enemy assault frigates. And of course, he has the 2 defense field frigates. So once they start dueling, it's going to be 3 assault frigates versus the 2 iron cannons on this destroyer. That was, I didn't even see what that was. Was that that was something crashing into it? A harvester or something? Damn, I wish I'd seen what that was. So yes, that's this destroyer is not long for this world, but I think it's trying to get in there. Its iron cannons are working down this damaged assault frigate, and that's going to be a third of the firepower taken out. And still, this support frigate back here of steel really should have been with these frigates healing that 1 assault frigate up. That would have, that could have turned it in their favour quite easily. That could have kept it alive long enough for them to take out this destroyer, I think. Someone could probably do the math on it, but I think it would have helped a lot. Now Ultra, this is where Ultra really begins to shine in these sorts of games. I've seen him in this position before. What he's done is he's using his mothership to block out the fire from one of the remaining assault frigates, so he's only really dueling 1 frigate. So it's going to be 2 iron cannons on the destroyer versus 1 assault frigate essentially. And I believe he's trying to ram the frigates with his own mothership. And let's see what this happens. He's built another destroyer, but as it comes out, it smashes into the assault frigate. So that's 1 assault frigate killed. 1 assault frigate killed by this destroyer already within the first few seconds of life, and he hasn't even fired a shot. Now I know that wasn't exactly planned by Ultra, probably, but part of me does suspect it might have been. You know, he must have known he was coming out soon, and he was moving the mothership, so that could have been. And now this is starting to look distinctly worse for SteelCIG. Rendar is still around with his handful of support frigates and corvettes, and the Steel does have this support frigate still, but it's not going to survive much longer. I think these corvettes are wearing it down, and once that happens, these 2 destroyers of Ultra are going to have quite a nice and easy time, I think, of clearing up these. There we go, the support frigate down. This destroyer is fleeing, so now this is sort of, I think, actually this is Steel's last chance. He has to work down this destroyer with his remaining frigates. Can he do it though? This is, remember, the defensive frigates blocking out the main gunfire. Let's see, there we can see some of the circles and the fire being bounced off, so it's only the iron cannons that are doing damage here. And so it could go either way, I think. On the other hand, without the support frigate for SteelCIG, I don't think he's got enough hit points in these frigates. There's a new support frigate coming out. Will it make it in time though? It's down to one iron cannon frigate for Steel. He's hanging in there. There's a mine laying corvette out, just throwing that extra DPS. Mines, of course, are ignored by the defense fields, as we can see some impacting on that frigate there. So it's gonna be tight. These corvettes trying to get in to do something, anything they can. One defense field frigate goes down. Still a defense field frigate out there. And it's just okay. We can select this. We can see what health it's on. It's almost half dead, and now there is a support frigate on this iron cannon frigate. I don't know who's going to sort of win. I got a feeling Ultra has just enough firepower thanks to the mine lane corvette, but he moves into ram. There's still 3 enemy frigates here. No, not that one. He gets one. He gets the second one. He gets the 3rd frigate. Oh, yes. That, ladies and gentlemen, that is why Ultra is one of the best players, one of my favourite players, because he pulls out stuff like that. That destroyer killed a kamikazed a frigate as soon as it was built, just kamikazed 2 more, and then with one last volley from its iron cannons took out another frigate. It's 4 kills on this destroyer, only 2 of them with its guns. That was awesome. And now Ultra's first destroyer, having done some emergency repairs and got itself up to yellow health, is coming back into the fight. Some more ships of Rendar, but I think that's it for SteelCIG. I mean, he came so close, and honestly, if he was any other player, I think he could have won there. But Ultra just saw his opportunity and went straight for it. So yes, Ultra's destroyers just have to stay out of range of this mothership's guns, which they can do so quite easily, and then they've got this. They have won. Steel has some attack bombers, but they're just getting taken out by the mothership's guns quite easily. There we go, last one down, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. So I would like to congratulate UltraSLS and Rendar of Co, and commiserate AE Manu and SteelCIG. I hope you have enjoyed this game. I also hope it's actually recorded properly, finally. If you have enjoyed this game, please like, subscribe, do some of the things, whatever you want. Yes, I'm going to quit this now because, as I said before, I'm very busy, and I've seen this game, so I know now that SteelCIG doesn't, well, he gets 1, maybe 2 attack bombers out, but yeah, this is Ultra and Rendar have won. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye.